Hello there, you're on the Heart of Reddit channel. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Get your popcorn ready and enjoy. Need my uniform before you will give me my last check? No problem. This is a story from my mom and my grandmother. Quite a while ago, both my mom and my grandmother worked for one of the local casinos. At the time, the casino had a 90-day trial, and then you would get insurance. During the course of them working there during the 90-day trial, the casino switched their policy to 18-month trial before getting insurance. So they then proceeded to find reasons to fire all of their employees who were coming up on the 90 days so that they would not be grandfathered in. My mom knew this was coming because she saw a person after a person who had gone hired a little bit before her get fired for ridiculous reasons. So when she got called in the office the day after she had to go to the hospital for a severe allergic reaction, she knew what was coming. They marked it as a no-call, no-show because she started having a severe allergic reaction on shift and her EpiPen didn't work. She walks into the office. She's informed that due to her no-call, no-show, she is being let go effective immediately. She asked for her final check. They informed her that she would receive the check after she turned in her uniform. My mother proceeded to strip down to her underwear and bra, drop the uniform on the supervisor's desk, and demand her last check. She stood there, in her underwear, for 40 minutes while they tried to convince her to turn the uniform in at a later day. Nope, you said I'd get my check when I turned in my uniform. There is my uniform. I want my check. Eventually they wrote out a check. She then walked out, taking the long route through the casino, saying her goodbye to all the staff and regulars on her way out. So, a couple days later, when my grandma had her shift, she knew what to expect because she was coming up on that same time frame, and my grandma proceeded to do the exact same thing. My grandma walked through the crowded casino in her underwear. You can't tell people we're closed. I work in a restaurant supply store. It's a giant warehouse that sells all the stuff you would need to run a restaurant. About 10 months ago we changed our hours. Google still had our old hours posted, but it's been 10 months. It shouldn't be a surprise anymore. Being a warehouse, we have two large doors with big metal gates. When we close for the day, we put down the big metal gate over the entrance, but leave the one over the exit open so people can get this exit the building. It is not for people who arrived after closing to come in and shop. It is not for you to come back in because you forgot something. It is not an auxiliary entrance. Well, a week ago we get a call from one of our corporate offices. He almost fired our assistant branch manager for turning away customers after we closed. So now, he lets them come in and shop after close. 2 days ago, we get another call from corporate. They are demanding to know why there has been a sudden rise in the amount of overtime the front-end employees are getting. Our assistant branch manager calmly explained it was because they couldn't start their closing duties until all the customers had left. And as we were no longer turning customers away after closing, we had people still in the store shopping until nearly an hour after closing, and making sure the front end was closed properly took at least 45 minutes on its own. That's almost 2 extra hours a day. Guess what we get to tell customers when they show up after closing now? I'm sorry, we're closed. We did ask for your input. The volunteer fire brigade had a hazard reductant burn. The area to be burnt was some swampy ground at the end of an active airport, but beyond the airport boundary. Attempts were made to include said airport in the planning, but the airport ignored the messages, eventually replying with the message: since this hazard reduction burn is being undertaken outside of airport boundaries, the airport is not going to participate in the planning stage. Right. We finalize the plan, submit the plan and get our fire permit, including restrictions on wind speed. This will be important later. So the day arrives for the burn. We start late in the afternoon, checking wind speed, all good. So we light up. Because of the nature of being a swamp, there is lots of green fuel and easily burning plants. We get some impressive flames, 10-20 meters high, and the smoke this small fire is putting out is thick, acrid and filled with embers. The first visitor is an Army Chinook, which orbits the fire, the pilot probably having Black Summer flashbacks. Then we have local police visit, then aviation fire visit. Each visitor, our first office meets them grinning ear to ear with our fire permit, which we are following to the letter. Now, dear reader, the reason everyone suddenly took a vested interest was that while the permit had restrictions on wind speed, it did not list any restrictions on wind direction. And on that day, the airport was downwind, with the fire right in the flight path for takeoffs.